Flex presents production. Hi, everybody, it's Flex. Hey, I wanted to spend a little time today talking about something that's very close to me, and that is mental illness. Um, there's millions of people, obviously, in the United States that suffer from mental illness, and there's a real stigma that surrounds it. Um, I'd say, a lot of people still think that people, are just crazy. That it's not, these people don't suffer from actual diseases. These are things that used to be believed, but now it's realized that each of these different, diseases have different defining factors that make them an actual progressive disease. Depression is an example. You become depressed, you lose motivation, you lose will to do things and to carry on with life, and the disease ends when you, unfortunately, eventually some people end up killing themselves. It's a cyclic disease. I suffer from bipolar illness. I was bipolar in my late teens and was diagnosed in 2001 as being bipolar type 2 mixed, which means I have both the mania side of it and the depression side of it in a single day, where I'll have mixed episodes, as they call them, where I flash between mania and between depression. And that can go on many times a day, that can go on for many times a week. Um, it's quite devastating at times. Um, it's very hard on the person, obviously, that it's being affected, because at times you don't understand what's going on. You realize it's happening, but it doesn't make sense what's happening. It doesn't. You can't rationalize what's happening because it's an actual disease. You're being affected by something that you can't control. In my case, they're trying to determine whether it's a physical or a chemical imbalance that's caused the problem. I've had a lot of head trauma, and so they want to take a look and see if I have some permanent brain injury as a result of all that head trauma. The treatment course would be different if that would be the case. So the thing is, the people that really suffer from mental illness aren't usually, obviously the person suffering from the mental illness is suffering, but the people that really suffer are the bystanders, the people that suffer the collateral damage, that have to, see the person in these different states of disarray and in pain. And a lot of people don't think that there's physical pain involved with mental illness, and that's just simply not true. If you've ever been through a period of depression, you can definitely attest to the fact that you'll get aches, pains. Your back in particular will ache very greatly, and so there is a physical side to it as well as the actual mental side. Um, for me, it started out as more of a mania, where I would be willing to take risks that others wouldn't take. I got into a lot of fights, to the point of fighting for money. I got into a lot of car accidents and a lot of accidents. Went down some stairs, and things like this. So did a lot of physical damage to my head, and it's very possible that that physical damage contributed to the problem that I ended up with, which was bipolar syndrome. Um, Everybody's different, when they have a mental illness. That's the other thing, that I think that's another reason that people discriminate, or I wouldn't say discriminate as much as they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand how someone can say, I'm bipolar and another person's bipolar, but our symptoms aren't the same. The symptoms for one bipolar person may be, they get up and they go and they become manic and they go and spend a lot of money on things that they can't afford, and then afterwards they go into depression as a buyer's remorse almost. Um, but that depression is not a buyer's remorse. I mean, that's the thing. Even though they've went out and they've done this, maybe horrendous to their finances, this horrendous action, they're not going into depression afterwards because of a buyer's remorse. They're going into depression because of the disease. The disease has taken them and has turned the other way. The chemicals in your brain act in strange ways that they don't really understand yet. I right now take no less than 7 different medicines to help control my bipolar, to keep me on an even keel, and they do a pretty good job. I take some for psychosis, some for mood management, some for the mania, and some for depression. And the depressional medication is a chronic pain medication as well, so it helps somewhat with the pain, but not much. When I was first realized that I was bipolar, I thought there was something wrong. Like I said, I was more at the manic end of the scale. I was more into risk taking and the buying of things that couldn't be afforded, and all these things that come along with bipolar. And maybe they should go into that quickly. The mania part of it is you're excited, you take risks, you would have promiscuous sex that you ordinarily wouldn't have, you would go out and buy things you ordinarily wouldn't buy. These are all the things that happen as part of the mania of it. You might stay up all night and paint one single wall in your house over and over and over. That's the mania of it. The depression of it is just true depression. That feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, the feeling that maybe it just isn't worth it anymore, that maybe you'd be better off if you could die. Those are the two spectrums. Those are the two poles, or the bipolar. So that's what I've been focusing on for the last about 15 years, is trying to maintain a normal lifestyle and a normal life for my family. So anyway, this is a little bit about me and a little bit about mental illness. I'm not a doctor, so don't take anything I said to total heart. Flex out.